Hello, whyandhoww family. Whether you've watched it on TV and movies or experienced it firsthand, you know the absolute elation that comes with welcoming a baby into the world. Parents smile, then cry. They look at their newborn in wonderment. And Dalo, age 17, felt the same way when his partner delivered their child. But just as he found himself feeling that uncontainable joy of fatherhood, Dalo's world would come crashing down. His partner had a secret, and he would have to discover what it was while being filmed for a program to be shown on national television. Her secret would change their entire relationship, more so than their newborn baby. Before we move on, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and activate the notifications bell for new amazing videos. Prior to their baby's birth, Quintana and Dalo had signed up to appear on Verhanden Openbach, the reality show, which means 4 hands on 1 belly in English, has been running on Dutch TV since 2012. The show connects teen moms-to-be with famous women who are also mothers. They provide guidance during the teenager's pregnancy through the early weeks of parenthood. Dutch singer Giovanka started mentoring the couple while Quintana was still pregnant. In the episode, which aired in February 2017, the pair seemed happy together. Dalo even pulled out his guitar to serenade his partner and the future mother of his child. Quintana was all smiles too, not at all hinting that she was harboring a secret. Her partner wouldn't find out what that secret was until after the birth of their child either. Indeed, thus far the only shocking thing about this young couple was the fact that Dalo seemed absolutely terrified to watch his girlfriend in labor. Cowering in the corner of the delivery room was nothing unexpected for a first-time dad, but the 17-year-old seemed to have a lot more trepidation than a typical father-to-be. Perhaps this was understandable, given that Dalo was welcoming his first child at such a young age. Dalo lovingly stroked Quintana's hair, but backed away as labor became more and more intense. He cupped his hands over his mouth, barely watching as she pushed to deliver the baby. And, without even watching the young mother in the midst of labor, an observer would know when the baby started appearing just by watching Dalo. His eyes seemed to pop out of his head as he watched the newborn take its first breaths. He continued to remain at a distance, even once the baby had been placed in Quintana's chest. The purple-hued newborn waited a few seconds before letting out its first cries, at which point Quintana looked back and smiled at the baby's father. Even with her reassuring smile to guide him, Dalo approached his partner's hospital bed with considerable wariness, his hands still covering his mouth in apparent shock. Finally, he stepped closer to the wiggling baby, whose cries had at last begun to quiet down. Dalo summed up enough composure to ceremonially cut the baby's umbilical cord. With that task completed, he finally cracked a smile, taking in the fact that he was, indeed, a first-time father. His fears seemed to be wiped away by the elation that hits all new parents. He even kissed Quintana on the head after she gave birth. "I'm so proud of you, baby," a sentiment expressed by partners worldwide after watching women conquer the incredible task of childbirth. But after the joyous birth of his baby, soon Dalo's happiness once again hung in the balance. As Quintana rested up, Dalo swabbed his mouth with an extra-long Q-tip. Incredibly, he'd found out that he might not be the father of the baby after all. A paternity test was in order for the young couple. Paternity tests compare the DNA of the baby, collected via a blood sample, to the DNA of both parents. The baby will have 50% of the mother's DNA and 50% of the father's DNA. If the half from the father wasn't a match to Dalo's DNA, it meant another man had fathered his partner's child. And because they were on a documentary-styled reality show, the couple would find out whether or not Dalo had fathered the baby while cameras were rolling. They sat down with their mentor, Giovanka, who read them the results. Giovanka took a very long pause as she read the news, likely because she quickly scanned the page and knew she was about to confirm the 17-year-old's fears. He found out on the TV show that he was not the father of Quintana's newborn baby. No one can blame Dallo for his emotional reaction to the news either. He was so overcome by his shock that he had to leave the room. Quintana shed tears of her own at the news too. Giovanka immediately knew how big a blow this was to the young couple and how it might hinder their relationship going forward. She gave Quintana a reassuring hug, though no one knew at the time what the pair's fate would be. However, after their episode aired, Dallo and Quintana had yet more shocking news for viewers. Many who watched the program might have assumed the young couple wouldn't be able to reconcile after the paternity results came back. But it turns out they'd remained together despite the baby's DNA. On top of that, Dallo has become a viral sensation on the internet too, thanks to his cartoonish reactions to Quintana's labor. Almost 4 million people have watched a now deleted Facebook post sharing the video of his facial expressions. It seemed viewers could relate to him. Many of the commenters tagged partners who had acted in a similar fashion when they welcomed babies of their own into the world. Did you like the story? Check out our channel for more.